I got like 30 minutes on this. Little disclaimer, whatever I'm talking is not a legal representation or I'm not interpreting any specific state laws. So it's just academic, pure academic and educational. Agenda is establishing non-profit organizations, a little bit of talk on how we establish non-profits, and then brief overview on responsibilities of directors and officers, and best practices, and you'll have a Q&A. Generally speaking, in a democratic society, we have three sectors. When we talk about businesses, corporate, we usually say private also, and then public, which is government. And then comes the sector that we all belong to, non-profits. Within non-profits, you have two private foundations as well as the public charities. So the distinction between these two is how the fund is coming, how the funds flow into these two. Private foundations, usually a small group of private individuals, rich people, they fund together and they form this private, all the private donation. The substantial piece of donation comes from private individuals when we talk about private foundations. IRS is usually very strict on private foundations because the intention is they are a little bit apprehensive on what these private donations go. So there are a lot of restrictions on private foundations. You see that 30% of annual income of gross annual income is deductible, whereas for the public, 50%. But again, Obama is changing these numbers. These are, as I said earlier, it's pure educational. I'm giving you just a distinction between these two. When we say exempt status, what is it exempt from? Anyone wants to take a guess? This is an interactive session. By the way, Shadvalkar Saab is more, he deserves here rather than there. If you have any questions, probably he has like 20 years of experience here. So exempt is basically exempt from income, state and federal income. So when the non-profits, they dissolve, since the intention of non-profits is for public good, right? The intention here is to do some public good, not for private individuals. So if all the assets here, as Jamal Bhai quite rightly pointed in a couple of meetings, that all the assets belong to public. So if the corporate non-profit dissolves, either it has to go to the other charities or the state or law will take over. So it doesn't go to the individuals. So you apply for exempt status to IRS. It takes usually 6 to 4 months. And you will receive a determination letter whether you are, based on the information that you submit, whether you are eligible for exempt status or not. So once you do that, then you apply for state income tax and sales tax with Illinois Department of Revenue. So when you get exempt, then whenever you are buying stuff for non-profits, your sales tax is exempted. So anyone knows what 501c3 is? What does it mean specifically?
Tax exempt status.
Yes, but I was looking for, it is a code, IRS code, for defining how non-profits. There are like, I have a list of maybe 15, 20 non-profits, 501c3, C6. So 15 to 20 are there. So everyone has a different guidelines to meet. So that's how they differentiate. So it's an IRS code for non-profits. When we say non-profit, it doesn't mean that you can't make profit. You definitely can make profit, but the profit is going for not for individuals but for public good. So that distinction is very important. So we might say that non-profit is we can't make profit. We definitely can make profit, but the problem arises if the profit is more. If it is substantial, Then IRS has a different way of monitoring this. There is a concept unrelated business activity. I will give an example. If Dawood bhai can listen to me, because this example is for you. We sell biryanis here on Friday, right? So we are doing that for the good of the public, because Friday people come here, they are hungry, after namaz they eat. But if Dawood bhai starts a restaurant, adjusting to this, even though the money, the income coming out of that is going to SNS, but still, if that income is substantial, and if it is not for public good, other people are also coming, and so that is what it is called unrelated business activity.
So, question: can you start a restaurant inside the masjid?
Yes, you can start. That's what I was trying to say. You can start a restaurant as long as it is for the public good, meaning it is for the purpose for which this organization is intended for. So if this organization is intended to help poor or charity, then you can start your, you can do that. The other, I'm coming to that actually. See, your parent is 501c3, right? For example, if your income as a restaurant is an example, just hold this mic. So if your parent 501c3 and you said you are a restaurant and you are generating a lot of income, which is good, right? It's good for our parent organization. But if the income is substantial, then the IRS mandates that either you create a subsidiary out of it, for example, the bottom one, the child. So that would be a profit-based organization, feeding your income back to your non-profit. So if you start earning lot, then you might lose your tax exempt status. So you got to be very careful.
What is a lot? Is it on a percentage basis?
That's a good question again. I think the standard is 30% of your gross income. If it is coming from one particular business, then you better take it out and make a subsidiary out of it. Sure.
We have a sign here saying that $7 for biryani. We have to take it out because the people from
I got
asked us,
two and he
you're
got
selling it,
this.
you cannot do
He
that.
buy
Absolutely, yeah, you can do it.
You guys start a restaurant.
But I said that